No, you didn't read that title wrong. That thumbnail is correct. This video is going to be talking about MLB The Show 20. I believe that's probably the first time I have said that phrase so far this year. MLB The Show 20. You might think it's a little bit early to actually start talking about stuff for this next MLB game. Like, we're only in August. The game won't come out until March. And yeah, it is early, but you guys also have to realize MLB The Show, like most sports games, is on a yearly development cycle, which means that they only really have about 9 months to actually create the game and bring out the new one every single year. They make the game and then they spend like a couple months on, post-launch support for the game before they really start getting into the development of the next one. So it's been a couple months. I believe right now they're probably going to be getting started on pre-production of MLB The Show 20 if they're not already in pre-production, if into any sort of small early development for the game. And that's why I wanted to bring out this video right now. Also, I am a Sony partner, so I do have a direct line of communication to the developers. So I can pretty much guarantee you guys that this video is going to get seen by SDS. And what I want you guys to do is, if you really want some feedback that you know will get seen by the devs, go in the comment section of this video. Let me know if there's anything that I didn't talk about in this video that you think you'd want to see, or if there's anything different you would change about the game or whatever. And just go ahead and go down there because, like I said, they're probably going to read most of the comments and see what a lot of the feedback is down there. So this is going to be my MLB The Show 20 wish list. A couple things to keep in mind. One, I'm mainly a Diamond Dynasty player, so a lot of this video is going to be centered around Diamond Dynasty and online gameplay. I am going to try and do a video about like franchise and Road to the Show, but I'm going to try to bring in a franchise and Road to the Show guy in that video to help me out with it, just so, I'm not just talking out of my ass. I want somebody to actually have feedback who actually plays those modes. So if you're more of a single player offline guy, then this video might not be for you. This is mainly centered around the online portion of everything. So yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started into it. I'm gonna start it off talking a little bit about gameplay. So gameplay is always kind of a touchy topic when talking about MLB The Show, especially for online. A lot of people this year really like the gameplay. A lot of people this year really don't like the gameplay. And the difference is that a lot of people who really don't like the gameplay are more competitive players, guys who are playing at the top level and are continuously playing on Legend. Whereas the people who kind of like the gameplay are more of the all-star caliber players. I guess if you want to use the term casual, I guess you could probably fit a lot of those people into that style of play. But for the most part, the gameplay, in my personal opinion, has been pretty good. I usually play a lot of my games on All-Star and Hall of Fame. I don't do a ton on Legend, so I think the gameplay does cater more towards a player like me. But that doesn't mean I can't see the faults in the gameplay, because the first couple months, pretty much through June, I was loving the gameplay. It honestly, in my opinion, was one of the best MLB The Shows online that I have ever played. Now, in July, I don't really know what it was, but me and a lot of other people I saw on Twitter, and not even necessarily like a lot of the top players, just a lot of people who are very active in the community, felt like we noticed a change in the hitting engine. And SDS says they did nothing to change hitting in these patches that they released and everything, but it's hard to explain. It just kind of felt off. I don't have any data to back up that claim. I don't have any evidence to show you guys. I just spend a ton of time playing the game. I'm on the game every day, playing multiple hours a day and a lot of online gameplay, and it just felt different. I don't really know what to say other than that. So we definitely noticed a lot of stuff, and in the past month, the game just has not been as fun as it was in the first couple months. And I think the biggest thing when it comes to gameplay issues this year is the lack of consistency for good user input. So basically, that's just meaning, like, if I get a good timing, good contact swing, my exit velo is going to be very inconsistent no matter who is at the plate versus who's on the mound. It's very confusing. That PCI feedback in the bottom corner of the screen when you're hitting, it can be infuriating if you pay attention to it after every single swing and every at-bat. So one of the things that MLB The Show, it's kind of a meme in the community right now, is that you're just going to line out every single at-bat this year. You line out so much this year, and to me, that is not really necessarily the bad part. I don't mind lining out over and over and over again, because if I'm getting good swings and I'm lining out, like, I know I'm at least doing my job at the plate. I know I'm getting good user input. The issue is when you line out 20 times a game and then your opponent, who is having trouble hitting the inside pitches, is not able to really time you up very well, is getting rewarded for a bunch of bad swings. It's really frustrating when you're playing a video game and you're putting in the good user input of good timing, good contact, and your opponent is getting late, okay, just late early swings that are falling over the second baseman's head and, getting over the first baseman and getting down the line and stuff like that. It's so frustrating. And don't get me wrong, late hits are a part of baseball. There's no getting around that. You can't have a baseball game without some sort of weird late hits every now and then, because that's just the way of the game. Baseball is an imperfect game. It is an unforgiving sport. You fail more times than you succeed. Late hits are going to happen. That's just a part of it. You have to come to accept that. The issue is when you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint. When you're looking at it from the competition or the competitive standpoint, when somebody can win the game by getting lucky with bad swings, and then the opponent is getting good swings over and over again and not getting rewarded, that becomes a problem, at least in my eyes, and I'm pretty sure in a lot of the competitive scene's eyes. If MLB The Show has a plan of going towards esports, which I don't know if they do or not, I don't know. If they want esports to be a possibility in their game, I really think that the hitting engine has to be reworked to where late swings are not rewarded more than good user input. I don't know how to develop a game. It's extremely difficult. I have the utmost respect for the guys at SDS who work on the gameplay and the hitting engine. I'm just a dude. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to game development. I'm just saying, as a player and somebody who would like to see this game get more towards the esports and competitive side of things and see the game grow that way, I do think there needs to be a change in the input and just some sort of adjustment to make it not as frustrating when you're playing somebody who you're clearly better than and they're able to kind of sneak away a bunch of wins when they're just getting rewarded for things that aren't good. So in my opinion, I do think that good swings need to be rewarded more than bad swings. I don't know how they're going to go about doing that, but that's just my personal opinion. A couple other things I think that needs to be touched with gameplay. Number one, check swings. Check swings, if you guys know, they're broken this year. You can check your swing a lot, and the animations on the check swings are infuriating. How many times have you seen your batter be at the plate and do this, like not even close to anywhere near anything that resembles a swing, and it gets called a strike because you swung, versus when you pitch to somebody and they go like this, they go, ooh, and the bat clearly breaks the plane and they get called for a non-swing. Like check swings, I don't know if just the animation or the visual side of things is bugged or if there's something deeper there, but check swings I feel like have got to be changed. It's one of the most frustrating things in the game. And the other thing I really think needs to be changed with hitting is I think the timing window needs to be adjusted with very late and very early swings. In my opinion, you shouldn't be able to make contact on the ball on a very early or very late swing. I think that should be in the same range as the too early and too late. It's already very easy to just make contact on the pitches in this game. And that doesn't mean hit the ball fair into play or hit the ball or hit home run or anything like that. Just to put the bat on the ball, whether it's a foul ball or not, it's very easy to just make contact in this game. So when you have the hitting window being that big, it just opens a lot of doors for people to get bailed out by, very early and very late swings and fouling off pitches and wasting good pitches that you put up. Because how many times have you been pitching and you've seen a guy do this where they're at the plate and they reach for it, they go, ugh, and they're able to make contact on it. Like, you completely fooled the batter and they're still getting bailed out just because of the discipline stat on maybe the card. I don't know. As far as I know, the discipline stat is the ability to put the bat on the ball. I could be wrong about that. Don't absolutely quote me on that. I tried to get some clarification before I made this video, but I wasn't able to get that before I started recording. If you guys know exactly what the discipline stat is, please let me know down in the comments. But also, if the discipline stat if the discipline stat is what I think it is, I don't think that should have an impact in online play. I think that should be a simulation only stat. But anyway, that's besides the point. I just feel like too early and very early and too late and very late should be the same timing window. I don't believe that people should be making contact on pitches when their swing is that far in front of the pitch or that late. Just early, I'm fine with that because you're right there. You're getting close to it. So I think that's okay. That's pretty much all I have as far as gameplay for right now. I think fielding has definitely gotten way better as the season has gone on. Errors are way less common. The beginning of the game, fielding was kind of a nightmare. And I do like the fact right now that fielding in the game matters. If you're not out there with diamond or gold fielding, you're going to have to deal with some errors, and it's going to make you make changes in your lineup if you're not comfortable with it. I really like the fielding right now. I think it's at a really good place. Pitching, there's always been some kind of issues with pitching where pitches aren't going where you think it's going to go, especially with guys with good control and stuff like that. I don't really know too much about how they can go about changing that. Pitching has always been kind of the weaker point for me in MLB The Show anyway, so if you guys have any pitching like critiques or anything like that, leave it down in the comments. I feel like hitting needs more work than pitching, but that's just my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get into the content side of things. This is going to be probably the strongest aspect of MLB The Show 19 by far. I think the content so far has surpassed how much content we got in MLB The Show 17. Obviously, way better than the content in MLB The Show 18, but you know, it's not absolutely perfect, and really at this point it's just kind of nitpicking on stuff. I would take the content like we have it 10 times out of 10. You know, do I think there could be small little adjustments? Sure, of course, but the content has been great, so this next section of the video is all going to be kind of nitpicking, and so just take it with a grain of salt with what I say. So the first area I want to go after is Battle Royale. Now, Battle Royale as of right now is way better as far as the rewards now than it was in the beginning of the year. And if you look at the rewards in the beginning of the year, you had the 5 ones. Who was it? It was Sean Green, Dale Murphy, Rob Dibble, I think Walter Johnson, and I forgot who the 5th one was. Yeah, I don't know. But basically, all 5 of those rewards were like 89 to 90 overalls. Like, they weren't that great. And 12-0 in BR is one of the most difficult things you can do in MLB The Show, like as a whole, not just in 19, in any of the games. Going 12-0 is extremely difficult and something that not a lot of people do. When you have rewards that are not that good for the 12-0, it kind of draws people away from playing the mode, at least in my opinion. Like, I didn't have any interest in playing Battle Royale up until like a couple updates ago because the rewards just aren't that good. That also is going to be talking about the 3, 6, 9, 12 rewards. I think they've got to update the diamond reward way earlier in the year. If you go 9-0 or 9-1 in BR, getting 9 wins is difficult enough. Getting 12 is way difficult, but a lot of people don't even get to 9 wins, and to get to 9 wins to only get a gold card, you're still not even getting any value out of that because it's a 1,500 stub entry fee. Unless it's your first entry, then you're going to get a couple stubs out of it, but if you get to 9 wins and you get a gold, like, it just doesn't seem that rewarding. Now, I don't know if you give somebody an 85 to an 89 diamond right off the rip, maybe not, I don't know, but I do think that the 9-win reward should be a little bit more valuable than just 1 gold card, maybe 2 gold cards, or like, you know, maybe gold with a couple packs in there or something like that. I don't know. There just has to be some more value to that 9-win reward, because when you go 9-1 or 9-0, there should be some sort of reward there, and I just don't feel like it's worth what we're getting. So I do think BR reward structure could be changed a little bit. The way it is right now, I think is fantastic. They usually do this later on in the year. They add the 9-win diamond and then the 12-win diamond, so you can now get 3 diamonds in a BR run if you win 12 games or you go 12-0. And then not only that, the flawless rewards are the best they've been all year. You've got Reggie Jackson, Jorge Posada, Eric Gagne, Willie McCovey, like Felix. All of these cards are super good, and they're worth it. They're worth the 12-0 thing, not only because the cards are good and you can use them in online play and ranked seasons, but you can also sell them for a ton of stubs, and then the 12-0 seems really, really worth it. So I think BR BR rewards need to be tweaked to actually match the skill level and the actual task that you're putting in front of the people, because not a lot of people are going to complete that task, so the reward should definitely be well worth it. So I think BR needs a adjustment in terms of rewards at the beginning of the year. As it goes on later in the year, it'll get better, but I think you could get off to a much better start. So I'm going to talk about packs next, and once again, this is going to be nitpicking because we have got them. I just am greedy and I would like to see more. I still would like to see even more promo packs come out on the pack store. We've had the signature pack, we've had the player of the month packs, we've had the Tops Now packs from the Tops Now moments, we've had the headliners, we've gotten signature packs, but it's usually kind of just the same thing every single week, just recycled with 2 new cards coming into the fold. It's pretty much like the same thing we got in the in MLB The Show 18, just the packs have a little bit better odds, and you have a better chance to pull these cards or whatever. I think we could get some even more fun packs. Like, I miss the packs in a pack. I miss the jumbo packs. Like, just give us more options to spend our stubs on the pack store, especially with packs being as good as we had them this year with as far as the odds and stuff like that. I think people really enjoyed opening packs this year for the most part, and I think you could reward them even more by giving them more packs, more choices, more uses to spend your stubs on. I definitely think headliners were a great addition. I would love to see them return next year. I just would like to see even more new packs added. So once again, just nitpicking. I just want to see more because I'm greedy, and yeah. Next up, this is going to be talking about the programs. This is also going off the assumption that everything in MLB The Show 20 is going to work the same as it does in 19. Obviously, there's going to be changes that we're not even going to think about. They're going to have their own things they're going to want to make changes on and stuff like that. But if you're going to look at programs as the same structure, I do feel like you could give a little bit better of rewards after the 300 stars, because especially for these people that grind, once they hit 300 stars, it's really not that worth it to go after the last 2. This one was definitely way better with the monthly awards for the May pack, but this one doesn't even guarantee a diamond. It just guarantees you at least one of these golds. I think at this point there should be like guaranteed diamonds and stuff like that. Then you've got the All-Star Game pack, which is a guaranteed diamond, but it doesn't guarantee you the higher round. I just feel like for people that grind the game a lot, I do think that there should be a little bit more incentive to get to 600 and maybe even 900 stars. But that's just me. I just feel like a lot of people get to 300 stars and then they just kind of play the game and they're just kind of waiting for the next program at that point. So I do think there could be a little bit of an adjustment on the reward structure at the end of the program. But once again, the programs I think are great. The bosses I think are great. The fact that it's a choice pack and we have to pick and choose which ones we want. And then if we want the voucher, we have to buy the other 2 on the market. Like, I like that. I think the program is structured very, very well to where it's not overpowered. Not everybody can get every single great card, but if you want them and you want to get a head start in the next program, I like all of that. I think it's great. I just think after the boss, because a lot of people try to get the boss within the first week to the first week and a half, 2 weeks. After that, we're just kind of sitting around waiting for the next program, because I don't even know how many people actually get to 600 stars. I haven't gotten to 600 stars since like the first or second program. A lot of the collections I thought were great. The starter collections for smaller rewards were great. Live series, pretty self-explanatory. Honus Wagner is kind of an interesting one because not a lot of people are going to get this card, but it's supposed to be modeled after the rarest card in like trading card history, not only baseball history. So I'm pretty cool with the way it is. I think it's fine. The featured programs, you get the vouchers. I think that's great. Events, I will talk about in a second. Monthly awards, I'll talk about in a second. Stadiums were fine. Unlockables and equipment, they're fine. I do wish there was a better reward for actually getting every piece of equipment in the game. I don't really think like there is a really good reward, because most of these are just stub and XP rewards, which are fine because everybody loves a stub and XP reward. You get more of that, everybody's gonna love it, but there's not like a card or like a bundle you get or anything like that, because like why would I collect this diamond catcher thing if my creative player is not even a catcher? Like, there's just not a lot of use. Like 100 stubs and 200 XP, it's just not really all that worth it. So I would like to see a little bit of an upgrade there. The creative player, these ones were fantastic. They gave you a stub and XP reward just for collecting players that you already had had collected. You get your created player upgraded even more. I loved this stuff. So most of the collections were really good. Monthly awards, I do have thoughts on this, but I'm gonna reserve my thoughts for this next one. I want to see what the July monthly awards set is actually going to look like, because I have some opinions on the player of the month that I do want to talk about on my channel. And if it comes out not to what I would like to see it, I will make another video talking about the player of the month and how that can use a bit of an upgrade. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see that video, hopefully later on this week. And if the player of the month packs aren't that great, or the player of the month set isn't that great. So we'll talk about that one later in a separate video if it comes to it. And then events, I really liked these events with the vouchers. I didn't even end up getting Omar Vizquel through the event. I wasn't able to finish the vouchers because I had a bunch of stuff going on in July. I just didn't have that much time to play. But the Hall of Fame event, we're getting Edgar Martinez at 98 overall, or at 9 vouchers for the 98 overall. Like, I love this stuff. I think this is a great way to get people excited about what's coming. It gets them involved and gives them a reason to play the events, even if the rewards aren't all that great. I really like these event collections. One thing I will say about events though is I don't think they should have as many gold event rewards as they've had, and that's not talking about winning 9 games in the event. That's talking about specifically the actual cumulative win event rewards. Like there was the Tony Perez, there was the Kendrys Morales, and yes, those guys can be useful towards the Honus Wagner collection, of course, but as far as like winning the events and stuff, it just really didn't give me that much. I just didn't really have that much desire to play the event if I knew at the end of it I was just getting a gold. Yeah, could I get a 12-win run and get stubs out of it by that way? Sure, if I have a good run, I can still make stubs, but you know, there should be something I think you always want to grind for in the event, and I don't feel like having a gold, whether it's only 4 wins or not, I just don't really like that. So I think there should be definitely more diamond event rewards. And honestly guys, the biggest thing about content this year that I think could be changed is what I'm about to talk about next, and it just has to do with the amount of end game cards that we actually received early. And this is gonna sound weird because this is me complaining or critiquing them giving us good cards for free, which it sounds so weird, and it's not like that. Like, I love the fact that we can get good cards for free without paying any stubs, or they just like rewarding our playtime and stuff like that. That's great. Don't change that. The problem I have, or the issue I have, is just kind of how early we've been able to get all of these cards. Like, this game needs to last them until, like, you know, December, January, February, and then we're getting started towards the next game. And right now, pretty much everybody has like end game teams, and we're still waiting on some cards too. So don't get me wrong, this isn't like they haven't done a horrible job of this or anything like that. We're still waiting on Griffey, Chipper, Babe, Pujols, Piazza, like all these crazy good cards that just haven't come out yet. But if you take a look at the XP reward path and you go over to level 75 where you get this first high diamond flashback pack, you can get 99 Kershaw, 99 Nolan Ryan, and 96 Trevor Hoffman. All 3 of these guys, maybe Trevor Hoffman isn't, I don't know, we'll see later on in the year, but these 2 guys in my opinion are endgame pitchers. I still think Clayton Kershaw, 99 overall, is the best starting pitcher in this game, and I just feel like you were able to unlock him a little bit too early. I do like this pack right here, the free 99 overall at level 100. I think this is great because all 5 of these guys, maybe with exception to Tony Gwynn, have a competition on who is better than them in their position. Like Brooks Robinson, right now you've got George Brett, you've got Josh Donaldson, you've got the new Evan Longoria, you've got Wade Boggs. There's a lot of guys in the third base position that get talked about. Frank Thomas. Now you've got the Lou Gehrig. You could even, I personally think you could even throw the 95 Josh Bell in that category, 99 Joey Votto. You know, Joe Morgan, I don't even think is the best signature series second baseman in the game. I think Alomar's better, and then you've got guys like Bill Mazeroski, who isn't all that good, but there's another like Dustin Pedroia. Like, there's a lot of signature second basemen. Duke Snider in the outfield, a ton of good outfielders. I don't think Duke Snider is a top 3 to top 5 outfielder personally. And then Tony Gwynn, I think, is easily the best card in this pack. And I think that he is a top 3 outfielder, but you know, later on in the year when Ken Griffey Jr. gets added and guys like that, we'll have to see. I don't know. Ted Williams, you know, his defense isn't that good, but that hitting is crazy. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. That's why I like this pack, is that these are 99 overall cards, but they're not necessarily all endgame cards. The level 75 pack, you get this earlier than you did at level 100, and the cards in here are even better than the cards that you get in that pack, in my opinion. So I guess one way to fix this is maybe have only like 3 or 5 of these cards available first, and then as you progress through the XP reward path, you add another one of those cards for every time you get it. Like maybe right here, then you add the 95 Giambi and the 95 bench, and you can choose there, and then after that maybe you add the Hoffman, and basically add these cards through the year as you progress through the XP reward path. Now obviously there's going to be those grinders that get to these high diamond rewards early, but at least, you know, you can tell they've put a lot of time into the game. The average player isn't going to have that. It's just, you know, when you have 99 Kershaw, an endgame card pretty much from day one, you know, it's just like that just pretty much locks up a spot in your lineup that you pretty much never have to change. So I do think 99 overalls were given out just a little bit too early, or not 99 overalls, but endgame cards were given out a little bit too early. I do think those could wait till like June or July or around then. And once again, just because they're 99 overalls doesn't mean they're endgame cards. I think this pack is honestly perfect, to be honest. So I do like that there. The XP reward path has been a great feature. It's been a great addition to the game. It rewards people for playing in the game. It's pretty much the replacement for the ticket counter. I love this. XP reward path, please bring it back next year. I think a lot of people like it. So other than that, man, that's pretty much all I have to talk about as far as content. You know, Conquest has been good as well. The packs in this Jeff Samardzija map have been great. I guess if I had a critique here, I would like to see better like player rewards from this. Like the 85 Jeff Samardzija isn't all that good, but he is a diamond. He's an all-star. You can use him for Wagner's collection, and then you know, you obviously get the really good packs from the hidden rewards. Not really a ton of critique there. It's just nitpicking, but you know, I would like to see some better Conquest rewards overall. We're still waiting. They might even add Conquest Extreme later on in the year, and that could give us even better rewards right there. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I do like that signature series. I'm totally fine with. I do think that some signature cards are a little bit low, like 88 Rick Ankiel. Should he really have a signature? I don't know. Should Aubrey Huff really have a signature? I don't know. It is what it is. I could be totally okay with them keeping signature series the way they are going into next year's game. So that's pretty much a majority of my critiques about MLB The Show 19 and kind of my wish list for MLB The Show 20, things I would like to see change. If I didn't talk about anything in this video, it pretty much means I think it's pretty good the way it is. Ranked season rewards are fine. Ooh, there is one thing I forgot. Hold on. Moments. There are a couple things with moments that I do feel like need to be tweaked. Some of these over here, the storylines moments, if we go to, I believe it's the Willie Mays storyline moments. It's the, which one is it? Yeah, this one right here. In my opinion, probably the worst moment in the game. You have to relive Juan Marichal's complete game shutout, but you're player locked as the pitcher and your defense is garbage. If you're gonna make me throw a shutout with a garbage defense, you gotta at least give me control of the defense. Don't make it player locked. I can't stand player locked pitching missions. I think they're super, like, you know, obsolete. Like, I don't think they're a good addition because you can only control the way you throw the ball. Once the ball's hitting the plate, you don't know what's gonna happen if like your teammates are gonna miss the ball, make an error, whatever. I think player locked pitching moments should be changed to you know, you having full control of the team. And this one, you can maybe just start in the 7th inning and then go ahead and complete the last 3 innings of the game and throw the shutout right there or something like that. I don't like the fact that player locked pitching moments don't give you any control of the defense, especially when you have a statistical mission to not allow a run. And it's not even allow an earned run, allow a run. If I make a good pitch and the computer hits a ball over the first baseman's head, it rolls to the wall, my right fielder tumbles over and misses it, or even worse, they hit a fly ball to left field to like Willie McCovey and he falls over because that's what he does 95% of the time, and they get an inside the park home run about that. Like, what am I supposed to do there, man? That's not on me. And I get a failure for the moment, and it's like, dude, I can't control that. Another one is, I was doing this on my no money spent account, which I believe it was it was a 5th inning moment. Hold on, it was the new Trevor Bauer 5th inning moment under the new face, same place, whatever. Which one? This one. Pitch 7 innings, do not walk 3 batters, do not give up 2 runs. How am I supposed to pitch 7 innings when the computer manager takes me out in the 6th? why is that a thing? I don't believe that you should be able to be taken out of the game when you have a statistical mission to pitch those 7 innings. You should be in control of the managerial decisions when you're doing a moment like this. So once again, player locked pitching I don't think works in moments. I think there needs to be a more control factor for the team if moments are going to come back in the same way. So moments I actually really like moments. I just think things like that, the player locked pitching ones, definitely need a tweak. So that's probably the last thing I was going to say. I think moments overall are pretty good. I like a lot of the moments. I like how many moments there are that you can complete. You earn stubs, XP, packs, all that type of stuff. Moments are great. Just some tweaks and adjustments on the player locked pitching ones, please. That's probably the biggest thing for me. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I've talked for like 95 minutes in this video, so it's a bit of a long one, but if you guys enjoyed and you guys have any comments and any sort of opinions and anything, leave it in the comments, like I said, because SDS is going to probably watch this video and see it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, I'm probably going to have that franchise and single player one coming out, maybe next week or something like that. So if you guys want to see that and see the conversation I have with somebody about it, then make sure to subscribe. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.